Part 3, connecting your Waterfed traditional tools to your pole. I had a question about trigger assembly. I've had a few different ways to show you what's available. There are clips like this that actually came with the pressure sprayer, and what they do is on the handle part, these clip into a hole here, so a hole that's drilled that pushes in, and that holds in your wand, the trigger assembly here. Okay. Right, so that's one way for you can use these. I simply drilled a hole in the pole and that fits in there, and then you can put your trigger straight through there. That's not a bad way of doing it, but again, because it's sticking out quite far, that can get in the way of your hand when you're holding your poles. So the other way that I have on some poles, again, is just for quick and ease, is this clip. Now this is made by Wagtail, and it was off, I can't remember what this was off actually, but he's just starting to manufacture these as part of, I think, some new squeegees. So I'm not sure if they're available as yet, but they're excellent because they just clip on to the pole. You can tighten it up. I think they were meant for clipping onto the outside of the Wagtail handle like this, and running your pole hose through there. But I've found a different way to connect up the Waterfed to the Wagtails, just in the previous video that I showed. So now what I think is the better way of attaching it to your pole is simply these Velcro straps, and you can get these from most hardwares, I would imagine. I got this from Bunnings. That's Velcro on the inside. You can tighten it up. It's just hooks through the loop there, and then you tighten it up as tight as you like. And the advantage of this is that it's thinner, so it doesn't get in the way of the actual trigger assembly. You've got much greater ease. You can tie it down here, have it further up. You can put this basically anywhere on the pole. If you like it a bit higher up, that's up to you, whether you're left or right-handed. If you're poling left-handed, you might like it down here, or some might like the trigger assembly up here where the right hand is, or left hand, depending on whether you're left or right-handed or ambidextrous. So that's the method that I prefer now for attaching the trigger assembly to the pole. Now, this was a trigger off a just a very cheap, I think $5 or $10 pump sprayer, 2-litre pump sprayer, I think it was. And it's simply a matter of undoing this here, and you'll find that, just bring it close up, that your pole hose will just go, if it's 8mm pole hose, pole tubing, you can force it right in there on these cheaper triggers, and I don't get any leakage through here. This tightens up lovely. I've never had any problems with it leaking out through here or through these push fit connectors. If you want to, there's push fit differences in quality between push fit connectors. If you get food grade ones, the ones that are used in machines with the manufacturing of food, you'll find that these are about $10 to $12 each. So I suppose you have to, this particular one I've had for a while. You can use the cheaper ones. It's back again. Just a bird. Where was I? Okay, so you can use the cheaper ones, entirely up to you. Now here's where you may have to do a little bit of tinkering around, is with the tubing. You have to kind of, what I've done here is plastic tubing, because I think this was about 9 mil tubing, and I wanted to have this be able to lead into another push fit connector. This is a 8 to 10 mil. These are Festo brand, very good quality. And what I need that for is because my tubing for the pump sprayer is 10 mil, so I had to think this is again food grade tubing, very good stuff, very high quality, into the pump sprayer. And again, you want quick connections for everything, so it's literally about a 3-second transition to go from the wand, where you're manually spraying water onto the glass, to transition to this with now having the trigger assembly up here and being able to put the water onto the glass as you need it. So this is its connection to the pole, just with one of these Velcro straps. Handy to have, get 3 or 4 of them. I sometimes put them on my 45-foot pole. I have these when I want to run the pole tubing on the outside. I have these at different sections just to keep that pole tubing from flopping around, getting too loose. So that's just another suggestion that might be helpful to some.